At 68, Margaret stood frozen in the middle of her dining room, surrounded by 45 years of memories stacked in boxes, dusty corners, and untouched furniture. Her husband had passed. Her kids were states away, and in just 48 hours, a moving van would arrive. Overwhelmed and alone, the walls felt like they were closing in. But what happened next was nothing short of remarkable. Margaret did the impossible. In just 2 days, she cleared her entire 4-bedroom home, and in the process uncluttered a lifetime of emotional weight. She didn't do it with expensive organizers or feel-good Pinterest tips. She used 7 brutally effective decluttering hacks tailored specifically for seniors. Like her, those over 60 who want to live freely, actively, and without the burden of unnecessary stuff. This story isn't just about tidying up. It's about healthy aging, reclaiming independence, and making room physically and emotionally for the life you still deserve to live. If you've ever felt trapped by clutter, if the idea of just starting feels impossible, or if your home no longer feels like your own, Margaret's transformation will speak straight to your heart. At Live Healthy After 50, we believe in simple, powerful changes that restore peace and purpose. This episode is packed with doctor tips for older adults, emotional insights, and daily habits for longevity, because natural health for seniors isn't just about diet or exercise. Sometimes it starts with your living room. So hit the like button if this resonates with you. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell for more senior health tips each week. And tell me what's one item in your home you know it's time to let go of, but haven't yet. Let's talk about it in the comments below. Now let's step into Margaret's home and into the 7 life-changing hacks that turned her house of memories into a space for renewal. Number 1, brutal sort method. The first time Linda opened the hallway closet, she just stood there motionless. A sea of old tablecloths, unopened gift bags, and mismatched linens stared back at her. It had been years since she touched most of it, yet something made her hold on. What if I need this one day, she thought. But as the stress grew heavier, so did her realization the clutter wasn't just physical, it was emotional. This is where the brutal sort method begins. It's not about being careless. It's about being clear. You give each item only 3 possible fates: keep, maybe, toss. And here's the twist that makes this work. Maybe is treated exactly like toss. Why? Because maybe is where most people get stuck. It's the soft middle, the hesitation zone. And for seniors, that hesitation can become a mountain of stress. Studies show that decision fatigue hits older adults faster, often within just 10 to 15 minutes of sorting. That's why the brutal sort method works. It forces fast, instinctive action. Start with a space that feels safe. The kitchen is perfect. It's practical, not too sentimental, and gives you quick wins. When Linda tried this in her kitchen, she discovered she had 14 mugs, but only used 2. 4 cutting boards, yet the same dull ones stayed in the dish rack. 1 rice cooker had a missing lid. 2 toasters, 1 broken. She set a timer for 10 minutes and dove in. Keep what she used weekly. Maybe became toss. No debates. By the time the timer buzzed, 2 drawers and 1 shelf were completely clear. No regrets. Just breathing room. This process isn't just about tidying, it's a mindset shift. It's senior health in action. Because clearing physical clutter reduces mental stress, lowers anxiety, and makes daily habits easier. In fact, a 2016 UCLA study found that cluttered environments raise cortisol levels, especially in older adults living alone. Simply put, clutter takes energy away from what truly matters: your health, your peace, your independence. The brutal sort method helps you reclaim that energy. It gives you permission to stop second-guessing. That unopened fondue set from your retirement party 10 years ago, gone. The cookie jar missing its lid, donated. You don't have to keep items for a life you no longer live. When Linda reached her dining room, she faced a drawer filled with linen napkins and silverware for 20 guests. Her family now gathers in restaurants. She kept 1 neutral tablecloth for small visits and let the rest go. It wasn't sad, it was freeing. And here's what makes this method work for those over 60. It respects your time, your stamina, your stage of life. No endless organizing, no labeling, just clear, fast decisions that honor your needs today. The best part, the more rooms you apply this to, the easier it gets. You begin to trust your choices. Your home becomes lighter, and so do you. If you've been searching for daily habits for longevity that go beyond food and fitness, this is one of them. A home that's clear and calm supports your overall well-being. You don't trip over boxes. You don't waste time searching for things. You feel in control again. That's the power of the brutal sort. It isn't cruel, it's courageous. Try it today. Pick one drawer, one shelf, 10 minutes. Keep only what you love or use. Toss the rest with confidence. And when you're done, breathe. You've just taken the first step toward a healthier, simpler life. One decision at a time. Number 2, 8-minute blitz. There's something powerful about a ticking timer. It creates urgency, focus. But more than anything, it ends the overwhelm before it starts. Most people fail at decluttering because they aim too big. They say, I'll clean the whole garage today, and after 10 minutes, they're drained. The 8-minute blitz flips that script. You don't need a full day. You don't even need a full hour. You just need 8 focused minutes. When Charles, a retired music teacher in Ohio, tried this method, he didn't start with his living room or bedroom. He started with one drawer. A single drawer in the bathroom filled with expired medicine, empty lotion bottles, and old razors. He set a timer for 8 minutes and went to work. No thinking, no pausing. When the buzzer rang, he was done, whether it was finished or not. That small win gave him momentum, and momentum is everything. This method works especially well for older adults because it honors your energy. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that decision fatigue increases with age. Your brain tires faster when making repeated choices. That's why short-time sessions protect your energy while still moving you forward. The rules are simple. Choose a small space, a single drawer, a shelf, a corner of the desk, set your timer, and go. Charles continued the next day with the nightstand next to his bed. He found 7 pairs of reading glasses, only one still had both arms. 5 ink pens, none worked. Expired cough drops, a broken flashlight. In 8 minutes, the clutter was gone. What remained was space, simplicity, and a drawer that finally made sense. These wins add up, not just in your home, but in your spirit. The 8-minute blitz doesn't require perfection. It doesn't expect you to finish the whole room. It just gives you a doable goal, and every time you reach it, your confidence grows. This method is more than a cleaning trick. It supports healthy aging. A cluttered home increases stress, raises fall risk, and even affects sleep. Studies from Princeton University and UCLA confirm that too much visual distraction can reduce focus and increase anxiety, especially in seniors. By tackling one small area at a time, you create visible results without burning out. You can sip tea between rounds, take a phone call, rest your feet, and then come back for another quick win. Charles eventually used this method in his living room. One 8-minute round on the coffee table, then the bookshelf, then the end table stuffed with old magazines and tangled charger cords. Each session was light but productive. Each space became calmer. By the end of the week, he didn't just have a cleaner home, he felt more in control. That's the heart of this method. It fits your life. Whether you're 60 or 80, whether you have mobility challenges or not, you work in small bursts, you stop before you're tired, and you build a rhythm that lasts. This is the kind of approach we stand by at Live Healthy After 50. We focus on realistic, empowering strategies that promote natural health for seniors. Because the truth is, your environment affects everything. Your energy, your motivation, even your independence. If you've been avoiding a room because it feels too big to tackle, don't. Just pick a drawer, set the timer, and let the seconds carry you forward. 8 minutes may sound like nothing, but it might be the most powerful 8 minutes of your day. Give it a try, then take a moment to notice how you feel. More relaxed, more confident, maybe even proud. Because progress doesn't come from giant leaps. It comes from showing up, 8 minutes at a time. Number 3, the outsider test. Sometimes the hardest part of letting go isn't the item itself. It's the story attached to it. A drawer of birthday cards, a shelf of dusty trophies, a closet packed with clothes that no longer fit the life you're living. We tell ourselves these things matter, that without them the memories might fade. But what if you saw your home through someone else's eyes? That's the heart of the outsider test. Imagine a stranger, someone with no connection to your life, walking through your house. What would they see? A home filled with meaning, or a collection of forgotten objects stacked in corners, taking up space? When Eleanor, a 72-year-old widow from Oregon, tried this approach, she didn't expect much. She thought she had already decluttered. But when she stood in front of her hallway bookshelf and asked herself, would a stranger understand why I kept this, everything changed. There were 23 ceramic figurines, each collected on trips with her late husband. But the truth was she hadn't dusted them in years. She kept them because she felt she should, because throwing them out felt like letting go of him. But through the eyes of a stranger, they weren't memories. They were just more things. She picked one. The little blue elephant from their first anniversary trip to Santa Fe. That one brought her joy. She kept it. The rest she donated to a local thrift store, letting someone else discover them and make new memories of their own. The outsider test isn't about judgment, it's about clarity. When you remove guilt and obligation, you begin to see what truly matters. And that's what aging gracefully looks like. Not clinging to the past, but honoring it and then making room for what comes next. This isn't just about stuff, it's about identity. It's about choosing how you want to live in the years ahead. Many older adults find it difficult to let go of sentimental clutter. But according to research from the University of Kansas, people who engage in what's called identity editing in later life, actively choosing what reflects who they are now, report higher life satisfaction and lower anxiety. That's why this method works so well. It forces the question, who am I now and what do I really need around me? Eleanor applied the same lens to her closet. 6 winter coats for someone who hadn't seen snow in years. Dozens of scarves she never wore. She asked herself, if someone else found this tomorrow, would they know who I am or who I used to be? She kept the red coat that made her feel vibrant. Let go of the rest. The change was instant. Less guilt, more lightness. Her bedroom felt calmer, her mornings simpler. This is what longevity truly requires. Not just physical health, but emotional freedom. When your space reflects your present, not your past, it supports your energy, your decisions, and your peace of mind. Try the outsider test in one area of your home. Maybe your garage. Maybe the linen closet. Imagine someone else standing there holding that dusty vase or broken lamp. Would they see value or would they wonder why it's still there? You don't have to explain every choice. You just have to be honest with yourself. Keep what tells your story. Let go of what clutters it. That's how you reclaim space for the next chapter of your life. A chapter defined by clarity, confidence, and joy. Because the goal isn't to have less. The goal is to surround yourself only with what lifts you up, what makes you feel alive, and what truly belongs in the story you're still writing. Number 4, cost of clutter check. Sometimes the most expensive thing in your home isn't something you bought. It's something you're afraid to let go of. Not because it's valuable, but because you might need it someday. That's how the cost of clutter builds quietly over time. A closet full of outdated appliances, a garage stacked with broken tools, a hallway lined with furniture that doesn't fit your life anymore, but still demands your space, your time, and your energy. To break free, ask yourself 3 simple questions. Can I replace this if I need it? How much would it cost? And when was the last time I actually used it? When Patrick, a 67-year-old retired mechanic from New Jersey, faced the pile in his shed, it looked harmless. Old socket sets, tangled cords, cracked toolboxes. Some hadn't been touched in over a decade. He picked up a rusted drill. Could he replace it? Yes. Price around $25 at the local hardware store. Last used, not since his knees gave out 5 years ago. Now compare that to the cost of keeping it. Dust, clutter, stress. The frustration of navigating a crowded space. For Patrick, the decision became easy. He kept one set of high-quality tools. The rest went to a local job training center. This method works because it shifts the fear. Instead of worrying about what you'll lose, you focus on what it's already costing you. And for many older adults, that cost is steep. Cluttered spaces increase fall risk. They can raise anxiety. They make daily tasks harder than they need to be. According to the Journal of Aging and Health, even moderate clutter in the home is linked to lower physical activity and higher levels of fatigue in seniors. This is why we include it in our doctor tips for older adults. Because sometimes what helps you feel better isn't another pill. It's more room to move, more clarity, less noise. Start with something small, a kitchen gadget, a box in the garage. Ask the questions. Can I replace it? How much would it cost? When did I last use it? When Teresa, a 70-year-old grandmother in Arizona, opened the cabinet above her fridge, she found a bread maker she hadn't touched in 12 years. Could she replace it? Yes. Would she even want to? Probably not. She donated it to a community center, freeing space she hadn't seen in years. The cost of clutter check is also perfect for evaluating just-in-case items. Old linens, duplicate extension cords, backup hair dryers. You're not getting rid of your life, you're protecting it. This approach also aligns beautifully with senior home remedies and natural aging solutions, because a peaceful environment free of stress and visual chaos supports healing and lowers inflammation. That's not just feel-good talk, that's science. The University of California found that people with less clutter slept better and had lower cortisol levels, the hormone tied to stress and belly fat. For seniors, that's critical. Sleep quality impacts memory, immune function, and balance. By making small decisions, item by item, you lower your daily load, mentally and physically. The cost of clutter check isn't cold, it's compassionate. You're not tossing history. You're choosing what actually supports the life you're living now. So take a look around. Find one thing you've been holding on to out of habit. Run it through the questions. Replaceable, affordable, recently used. If the answer is no to all three, you already know what to do. Letting go is not a loss. It's a choice to make space for movement, for peace, and for what truly matters. Number 5, energy priority scale. There's one resource we often overlook as we get older. It's not time, it's not money, it's energy. And once it's gone for the day, you don't get it back. That's why the energy priority scale is a game changer. It helps you stop wasting your energy on things that don't matter and reserve it for the items that truly do. The system is simple. Pick up any object and rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 means it holds no emotional or practical value. 10 means it's deeply meaningful, irreplaceable, or essential to your daily life. Most things will fall somewhere in between, and that's where the truth starts to reveal itself. Nina, a 74-year-old from Colorado, tried this method after feeling overwhelmed every time she walked into her guest room. It had become a dumping ground for books, clothes, knickknacks, and unopened mail. She started small with a single bookshelf, the mystery novels she'd already read. They rated a 1, the gardening journal from her late mother a 10. In just 15 minutes, she cleared 2 shelves and felt something she hadn't in months. Relief. This method works because it respects your energy as a limited, valuable resource. According to a study published in the Journal of Aging and Mental Health, emotional energy diminishes faster with age, especially when decision-making involves personal attachment or sentimental items. That's why older adults can feel so drained after just a few decluttering decisions. The energy priority scale protects you from that. It's not about how much you get done. It's about spending your mental and emotional effort where it actually matters. Let's take your closet. You might have 20 coats, but how many do you wear, and how many just take up space? When Nina used this method on her wardrobe, she found 5 jackets that rated below a 3. They didn't fit. They didn't feel good. They didn't reflect who she was now. She donated them to a local senior center thrift shop. The result, her closet finally opened without a fight, and getting dressed in the morning became a joy, not a task. This is exactly what it means to live healthy after 50. It's not just about nutrition or exercise, it's about making sure your surroundings support your mental well-being. Clutter competes for your attention, and your brain pays a price every time it has to filter out visual noise. Researchers at Princeton University found that people surrounded by too many things have a harder time focusing and experience increased stress levels. That stress shows up physically in your sleep, your mood, and even your blood pressure. So what can you do? Pick one category: clothes, books, kitchen tools, and give yourself permission to score each item honestly. 1 to 10. No guilt, no overthinking. If you hesitate too long, it's probably a 1. If it makes your chest feel light and your heart smile, it's likely a 9 or 10. Those are the things that stay. The beauty of this method is that it works with your current life, not the one you had 20 years ago. You don't need to hold on to every photo album, every broken lamp, or every souvenir. You just need to hold on to the things that still give back to you, the ones that lift you, not weigh you down. For senior health, this kind of emotional clarity matters, because when you let go of what's draining you, you free up space to rest, to move, and to enjoy the little moments that truly define your day. Try it today. Pick a drawer, a shelf, a stack of papers. Give each item a number and trust yourself. What you're keeping should support who you are now, not who you used to be, not who you feel guilty about becoming, but who you want to be today. And once you clear away what no longer deserves your energy, you may be surprised at how much more of it you actually have. Number 6, the next chapter test. Every item you own tells a story, but not every story still needs to be part of your life. That's where the next chapter test comes in. It asks one powerful question. Does this item support the person I'm becoming, Or is it anchoring me to a version of myself I've already outgrown? When Alan, a 70-year-old retired firefighter from Michigan, looked around his home, he didn't see clutter. He saw memories, boxes of awards, uniforms, camping gear from family trips, cabinets filled with tools he hadn't used in years. Each piece represented something meaningful. But as he started asking this question, the answer became clear. Alan no longer went camping. He no longer fixed everything himself. And he wasn't planning to hang the same firehouse photos in his new apartment near his daughter. He kept a framed photo with his old crew. That still made him smile. The rest he donated to a local museum that honored first responders. It wasn't about letting go of who he was. It was about choosing what still served who he is now. This test creates a shift in perspective. You stop asking, what should I keep, and start asking, what future do I want to build? That shift is essential to senior health, because holding on to the past physically and emotionally can quietly stall your growth. According to the National Institute on Aging, people who focus on positive future goals tend to live longer, healthier lives. They move more, connect more, and report greater overall well-being. These are the real longevity secrets. Letting your environment match your direction, not just your memories. When Alan opened the drawer in his hallway desk, he found dozens of lesson plans from when he volunteered as a CPR trainer. Pages yellowed with time, some handwritten, some typed. He paused. Those plans had meaning once, but now he was teaching photography at the local community center. He kept one copy, just one, a reminder of a chapter well lived. The rest went into the recycling bin with no guilt. This method doesn't mean you erase your past. It means you give your future the space it deserves. If you've retired, if your kids are grown, or if your health has shifted, it's time to reimagine what your space says about you. Maybe you want to start painting, or gardening, or hosting small dinners with friends. But if every surface is covered in outdated clutter, where will those new joys take root? Walk into a room, pick up an object, ask the question, does this item support the person I'm becoming? If the answer is no, it's not a mistake to let it go. It's a sign of strength. The next chapter of your life isn't written in old instruction manuals, college textbooks, or boxes of broken electronics. It's built from clarity, from space, from the courage to live with intention. When your home reflects your goals, not just your history, you don't just live better. You age with purpose. That's what Live Healthy After 50 is all about. Creating a lifestyle that gives you freedom, clarity, and peace. So take a walk through your space. Let your hands find the things that no longer belong in your next chapter. You might just discover the best is still ahead of you, and it's waiting for a place to land. Number 7, gratitude goodbye. Letting go doesn't have to feel like losing something. In fact, it can feel like honoring what mattered and then choosing to move forward with peace. That's the heart of the gratitude goodbye. Before you part with an item, pause for a moment. Acknowledge it. Thank it for its role in your life. Then let it go with kindness. This simple ritual changes everything. When Maria, a 69-year-old retired librarian from North Carolina, began decluttering her attic, she found a box of her children's baby clothes. Tiny socks, soft blankets, the outfit her son wore home from the hospital. She hadn't opened the box in over 20 years, but the moment she did, the memories rushed in. Instead of stuffing it all back into the shadows, she chose something different. She picked up each piece, held it in her hands, and said, "Thank you. Thank you for the warmth. Thank you for the joy. Thank you for the years you helped me feel like a mother." She took a few photos, kept one tiny sweater, and donated the rest to a shelter for young families. That moment didn't drain her, it healed her. Gratitude goodbye turns decluttering from a chore into a meaningful emotional release, one that helps you create space without guilt or regret. And for those focused on natural health for seniors, this emotional clarity matters. Studies from Harvard Medical School show that practicing gratitude lowers blood pressure, improves sleep, and supports immune function. It's not just good for your heart, it's good for your body. Clutter, on the other hand, creates stress, and stress impacts digestion, energy, and mental clarity, all critical elements of a strong senior nutrition guide and healthy lifestyle. When your home is filled with things you're afraid to face, it becomes harder to relax, harder to feel settled. But when you release items with thanks, you don't carry them with you. Maria applied the same ritual in her kitchen. She found the blender from a short-lived smoothie phase, a set of dishes with chips along the edges, and a shelf of cookbooks she hadn't opened in a decade. She held one plate and remembered all the Sunday dinners it had seen. Then she whispered "thank you" and placed it in the donation box. By the time she finished, her kitchen felt like hers again. Open, light, full of room for the meals she actually loved to cook. This method works especially well for sentimental items. Your partner's old sweater, your daughter's school project, the chair from your first apartment. Say goodbye out loud, or write a note, or simply touch the object and send it your silent thanks. You're not throwing something away, you're completing its story. And when the story is complete, you get to begin a new one. Gratitude goodbye is a way to honor your life, every phase of it, every item that helped you along the way. But it also reminds you that your past doesn't have to take up your present or your future. You still have new memories to make, new routines to enjoy, new ways to nourish yourself physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Let your space reflect that. Let your life reflect that. So as you declutter, don't rush. Take a breath, hold the item in your hand, and say the words, "Thank you." Then place it down and move forward lighter, stronger, and more free than you felt in years. Margaret didn't just clear out a house, she cleared space in her heart. When the moving van pulled away, she didn't feel empty. She felt ready. Ready for a quieter home, a lighter life, and the next beautiful chapter. 6 months later, she was teaching photography at the local senior center, volunteering at the library, and planning her first solo trip to Italy, a dream she had tucked away for decades. Because decluttering isn't about letting go of your past. It's about making room for the future. Every item you release is a doorway, a chance to breathe, a step toward the peace, purpose, and freedom you truly deserve. So what will you start with? Maybe just one drawer, one shelf, one decision. Try the 8-minute blitz today. Then if this video helped you take that first step, hit the like button, subscribe to Live Healthy After 50, and turn on the bell so you don't miss new tips for a stronger, simpler life. And let us know in the comments, which item are you finally ready to let go of? Your health is your greatest wealth.